In this edition of Smart Bites, Zulfikar Deen illuminates us on operationalizing as key to gate quality. He is currently the Group CIO of Columbia Asia Group of Hospitals. You said operationalizing a solution is key. Can you throw some light on this?
Sure. You need to understand industry like healthcare, where the primary job is not use a system. For example, if in healthcare or a finance, or if it is a finance or back office operations, where you've got army of people sitting, they are actually doing everything in the system, approving, doing all that stuff. In healthcare, a clinician or a doctor or nurse, their job is not to work on a system, right? Their job is to attend to patients. So whenever system I put in for them to use, it should be kind of non-intrusive. It should help them, but it should be non-intrusive. That's just the first understanding, right? Whatever system when a partner is developing, you need to understand that this is not a primary tool for them to do their job. Now, what is missing piece when I work with multiple partners is you got a piece of solution that's great, it works, fantastic, but that's probably about, in my view, no matter whatever technology architecture you put into the system, it's probably 20% of the effort. 80% of the effort goes in how do I operationalize? What do you mean operationalize? The same example of a doctor, you made a small change or you delivered some small incremental benefit. How do I let the doctors know? I can't bring the doctors to a training room, right? I can't get all of them in one single place. It's not possible. Whether nurses. So the change we propagated, how do I first of all make it reaches them? That's number one, most important difficulty. Number two is in terms of support. Let's say if they have a problem, right? Now how do I, the entire chain of support system works into the place? Because when a doctor sees a problem in the application, hopefully it's not clinically problematic issue. Then if it is a clinically problematic, it is going to be very, very challenging. But even otherwise, if it is raised, then it goes to a local support team, then they need to understand whether it is a problem of network or application or a system or a server, hardware, diagnose it rightly, then take it to the right team internally. Okay, it was a network problem, it was a infra problem, or it was actually application problem. Even if it is application, there are 10 applications interacting with each other. Which part of the application actually created the issue? Then finally trying to figure out, it may be because of this partner solution, then forward that issue to them. Then they need to understand, for them the challenge as a partner is in what setting, in what situation this real problem occurred. And in a clinical situation, I cannot recreate the same patient. I cannot give the patient data to my partner. So it's challenging for them to understand that also. Now, not only understanding, making sure that support, if they fix or if they give a solution, it propagates through the chain and goes back to that particular end user is extremely challenging. So training is a big challenge, support is a challenge, and adoption is a challenge, right? You may roll out n number of systems. How do I ensure let's say we have 12,000 people who are using a system, how do I ensure it reaches to them, right? And people have the inertia of, it's there, right? So you bring in new, what takes them to change? It's going to be very difficult until it is driven. How I ensure that is we need to drive through the line of business leadership. They need to identify the value for it. They need to tell, it is important, it's important. So by the time one small change done by a partner in an application, by the time I ensure that it is used by, let's say, all 12,000 people, it's an enormous task, right? So that's why needs to be understood by I've been on the other side, right? This is a fantastic tool. I got a nice little capability on there. I got put some button up there. I got some beautiful report coming up. So why can't the users use it? This is a challenge. It's extremely difficult to take one and propagate to 12,000 and do it continuously, right? So that is a critical piece of operationalizing versus developing a solution.
A severe bit of internal marketing.
Yes, exactly. And if I can add that, it's not about, it may not be about only the change in the software, it's about a process change. For example, Let's say we delivered a solution where, let's say, patient can do a payment by themselves, let's say for a consultation. Now earlier my internal process are aligned such a way that okay, patient will come, they'll come to the front desk and then go to the cashier counter, they pay, everything is okay, they're all trained very well as a process point of view. Now I suddenly introduce a system from my partner point of view, it's easy, I got a payment solution for you, you just go pay for it, credit card integration, beautiful, easy. But now how do I train all my staff to know that somebody actually already paid? That means they should have the knowledge. How do I change the workflow within the hospital? Okay, you don't have to hit the front desk, you don't have to go to the cashier counter, you can go to the nursing station. How do I change that process? I know, so when go to the nursing station, the nurse should know. Earlier they will have printed sheet saying that they paid it from the cashier counter. The nurse should know now it may not be the case. They could have been paid online, so they should be able to know how to look up in the system whether this person has already paid. Now how do I identify this person actually? So there are quite a bit of process challenge. So that's probably the gap.
Thank you. So Zulfi, real applications seem to have always a very strong legacy. So when we upgrade, what are the challenges in integrating the faithful old with the promising new technologies?
It is extremely challenging. As connecting to my earlier discussion, we move very quite slowly compared to how the industry moves. It's like you can imagine a different cog in a gearbox. We actually move very slowly, and the other one is moving really fast. But you need to have the connection in place. So as a partner, somebody is doing. If you are looking at the quality of the whole system, you need to look at holistically. You need to look at okay, it's just not about your system. How when you integrating with slow moving system of internal, how do you ensure the data moves in the right speed and right velocity and it's tested correctly? And also you have to be, the biggest challenge would be the existing system, the data may not be good. There could be a lot of garbage in the data because, usage of system for 20 years, 15 years, people come and go, there could have been a lot of garbage in the system also. When you are integrating with a newer technology, okay, I got my wonderful new system, shiny new system, I have to plug it in. If that expects a good clean data, it's not going to happen, right? So it's going to be very challenging. One is fidelity, only in terms of velocity, data cleanup, all are becoming in difficulty, one. Number two, the partner talks about wonderful, I got my, not even latest, you talk about jQuery or you talk about any of this technology, yeah, I got ML engine, I got this. My internal team may not be able to connect with you, right? It's not that there are so many technology out there. My internal team is focused on making sure my system is running, operational lights are on. So that's primary focus. So technology may be very interesting, but they may not be able to connect to what you are speaking. So we need to, as a partner, you need to make sure that holistically tested. You also handhold the internal team when you are doing the integration pieces. So during the testing time, during the operationalizing time, during support time, it's very critical. That's how we look at it.
You had a very interesting view on DevOps, rather contrarian. Please elucidate your view.
Yeah, DevOps is very challenging from a end user point of view. I know, though it's a nice, sexy term, okay, we are doing DevOps and we are building with the users in mind, we are continuously delivering great stuff. But what happens is, from a end user point of view, when my users are spread across, in my case, 28 hospitals, and people are at different shifts, and people are coming and going, and people are of different role, whether there are nurses, there are front office, there are completely different type of people, trying to take a solution to my end user and trying to believe that I am going to get some feedback and try to continuously build this system along with the end users, it's probably a mirage, right? You may have to look at different phases of a solution. Okay, I'll take a phase one, build it fully in an MVP model, completely working, which solves a particular problem of the user. It should be completely working, operationalized system along with whatever I spoke earlier. Then take it to the user. Then next phase you build up on it. DevOps, from a tool building or solution builder to through a CIO organization to end user, not going to work.